Welcome to the MrpTech podcast. This is episode 26, and my name is Matt. This is a weekly podcast where I review multiple platforms and technologies to see which works best for me in order to help you. And it's been a busy week for me over the last few days, both with this podcast and with other things that I have going on. But one of the things that I've been working on is sort of tweaking the look and feel of everything that I do online. I made some minor revisions to the logo. You may see some changes if you visit our Facebook page or our YouTube channel. I've also adjusted the logo for the RSS feeds to better suit the title of this podcast, MrpTech Podcast. And so I've been making some tweaks here and there. I'm not quite finished yet. As time goes on, it will change, I'm sure. But basically, all around, I've been sort of upgrading the logos and look and feel to try to bring the quality up a notch as time goes on. I also made some adjustments to our website as well. And so if you happen to go to those, take a look and let me know what you think of the just minor revisions of the logo as time goes on. It will change and continue to hopefully get better. And that's the idea, is sort of slow, steady improvements. As far as the quality goes, I've been hearing a lot of good things about the sound quality. So people are hearing the effort it takes to make good quality audio. And I also had some good comments from last week's podcast about the SpaceX anomaly. And I thank everybody for sending me those comments. I really appreciate the encouragement. I appreciate all of the time and effort it takes to listen to this podcast and help me grow and get better. And so that's sort of a segue into what I want to talk about today. And the theme so far is slow, steady improvements. And that's sort of what I've been doing since I started this podcast. And the idea is, hopefully, if I can slowly improve the quality over time, you as a listener will enjoy what I produce and continue to listen. So in today's topic, I want to talk about something I just learned about over the weekend. And, well, I shouldn't say learned about over the weekend. I've known about it for a really long time. And I'm sort of ashamed at myself for haven't trying it yet. I haven't gotten around to experimenting with it, which is okay because it makes for a better podcast in that way, I guess. So what I want to talk about today is something that, again, will help me improve the quality of the things that I do for all of you. And you may find some uses in this as well. So what I want to talk about today is Open Broadcaster software. And this is a piece of software that has just blown my mind over the last few days for various reasons. So before I get into everything, what is Open Broadcaster software? So what that is, it's a free and open source software suite. It's for recording video and for live streaming on the internet. It is a very powerful tool that supports live streaming to YouTube or Twitch TV or Facebook or many other services. And it was originally created by Jim Bailey. And the project sort of grew very quickly, and many online collaborators came on to both work and improve OBS and to basically spread the knowledge about the program itself. And if you're interested in trying this out, you can find Open Broadcaster software, or OBS, at obsproject.com. And there's two different versions. There's a classic version that's only available for Windows. And there's a newer version that was just released on August 8th called obs-studio. And that is available for Windows, Mac, and Linux. And that is the version that I chose to start with, is obs-studio. So what OBS is, it's very simple. It's basically, if you've ever learned how to record your desktop screen, this is similar to recording your desktop screen, but it gives you almost a professional studio look and feel. And you can set scenes for various things that you want to record. For instance, if I'm doing a review on something, I can set it so that I have my logo and my video on one screen, one scene, and I can easily switch between my browser, and it will just record the browser, or maybe a second monitor, or if I was on a Skype call with somebody, I can easily hook the two video feeds into one screen and record them and really increase the quality of my videos. And one of the things that I was surprised, I've heard of other people using OBS before for podcasting, but one of the things that I found interesting is a lot of gamers actually use OBS. And what they like to do is they like to record when they play games and live stream it to things like Twitch, where other people can watch them playing games. So there are a lot of different uses for open broadcaster software, not just for podcasting. So it's very easy to use, very easy to set up, and you can make it as simple as possible to use. You could just use very basic features, or you can make it look as professional as you are able to or would like it to come across as being. And all just a matter of learning how to really edit your scenes and place your sources correctly. It's very easy to use. Basically just adding a feature or removing a feature. You hit a little plus button or minus button and then pick where your feeds are. Do you want to use your webcam, or do you have an external video camera? Do you want to use a second monitor? And it's very easy to start recording or stop recording. And you can switch between all these different scenes that you have preset up. And you can even make scene collections. So if you have more than one show or more than one thing that you like to do, you can organize a little better what it is that you do. So if I wanted to use a scene collection for just reviewing software, I can do that. Or if I wanted to set up another scene collection for just quick tech tips or for the podcast itself, then I can sort of keep things organized in the way that I like. So again, very easy to use and feature rich. There are a lot of things that you can do with OBS. As I mentioned, you can record your desktop background. You can record just a single window. You could record in one window a browser and another window a different browser and switch back and forth with all sorts of ease. And you can make it look professional with scene transitions. So you can make the scenes cut from one scene to another. You can make them fade from one scene to another. And as time goes on, more and more transitions are going to be added. More and more features are going to be added to OBS. And it really is a powerful tool. It seems to me that it's more powerful than just a desktop recorder or a screencaster. And that's what I really liked. As I mentioned earlier, improving the quality of things that I put out. At the same time, the goal of this podcast has always been keep it simple, very simple. I don't want to spend hours and hours and hours editing things. I want to be able to publish as easily as I can. So with that said, there's a little work that goes into OBS right at the beginning. If you want things to look really good, you can go into settings and you can adjust just about everything that you want. You can adjust the stream settings, where you want it to stream to. If you want to do live streaming, you don't have to do live streaming. You can set out the video bitrate and the audio bitrate, and you can make for a lossless quality of recording if you really wanted to, if you've got a computer powerful enough to do that. So as you go in through basically just the settings, you want to make sure to set things as high as you possibly can so that you get a great recording. And it's so easy to integrate things like Google Hangouts or Skype or anything like that, or other video sources or audio sources. OBS is a really powerful tool. And now let's talk about some things that you could use this for if you really wanted to. And one of the things that I started thinking about is OBS in schools. Let's say that there's an audio video club at your local school, and they do a lot of recording around the school for different events. What they could do is they could integrate OBS for various projects, such as making announcements during the morning. If you have a school that has a setup where each classroom has a TV set to a local school channel, you can use OBS to broadcast to all of the classrooms. You could do the morning announcements by video instead of just audio. You could really get students involved with using OBS by teaching them how to use the software and letting them create their own projects. You could have them review something going on in the school. You could have them work in small groups. And this is something that is so easy for students to learn, that when you give them a chance to use their imagination, you might be surprised with things that they can come up with and the quality of things that they can do with OBS. I'm thinking of things like basketball games or football games. Students could use OBS and record a football game, and if students are interested in announcing, they could broadcast their local football game or basketball game or soccer game, broadcast it to their school television channel, or they could just record it locally and then post it to their local channel. That way they could have a pre-recorded session, and the students could then publish their finished product. And I think it would make it really fun and interesting for students to get involved with technology this way. Any type of live event like that would be an awesome use of OBS for school districts. And what's great about OBS is this is a top-notch piece of software that is absolutely 100% free. So it doesn't cost anything. There are no subscriptions and there are no payments, and it's available to everyone, and it will always be free. And that's what I really love about OBS, is that they really take in that open source philosophy, and at the same time they take in donations, and that basically supports their development. So if you'd like to contribute to that project, there is a donate area on their website, obsproject.com. And usually, the best way to do it is as you start using this product, if you find that it's something that you're going to use, make a small donation and contribute to that product so it stays around for a long time. What's also great about OBS is they have a online forum for whatever platform you're on, Windows, Mac, or Linux. And you can go and you can get support for any trouble that you may have. There are tutorials. You can even get involved with development. If you have ideas, you can request ideas. And there are plenty of guides available on their website. So there's if you're not really sure how to get started, there is a wide range of information for you to help you get started on this. And another feature that I found really interesting, so as a podcaster, I find that this would be a really great thing to use. As an educator, I find that this is a very great project to use. And also as a musician, I'm starting to get more and more interested in using OBS for something that I've wanted to do for a very long time, which is live stream my concerts. And I'm so very, very tempted to try this using OBS. The only piece of hardware that I am missing right now to prevent me from live streaming some of my concerts is a HDMI capture card, which is sort of expensive. But as I get more familiar with OBS and I get more familiar with audio and video recording, I just may end up trying this eventually to see how it works. So you may see me actually experimenting with live streams at some point in time, just to sort of test the waters and see how powerful of a tool this really is, and can I use this in a production environment. Right now, everything that I see is leaning towards yes. If you have your audio and video qualities and everything like that set the way that you want, I think OBS will really be beneficial for a lot of different things. So if you're a musician and you want to live stream a concert, so you could set up multiple cameras and really just train someone how to switch scenes back and forth. Is really just as easy as a click between scenes, and you could make a rather entertaining production using free and open source software. That's pretty awesome when you think about it. So I started thinking about more and more uses. We've talked about gaming. We've talked about podcasting. We've talked about OBS in schools. We've talked about live streaming. A lot of kids would use things like OBS to live stream playing Minecraft. Kids love playing Minecraft. That's just another way to help kids get involved with technology. So what I'm going to do over the next few weeks, I'm going to experiment with OBS, and I'm really going to try to put out a few video reviews using OBS. I may even do an OBS video review, reviewing the actual software itself so that you can all see exactly what I'm talking about. And just keep this in the back of your mind, sort of like I did. I've heard a lot of people using Open Broadcaster software or OBS, and I have always wanted to try it, but I always sort of had a preconception that it was difficult to use, and I never had any reason to do this, to use it at all. I didn't really have a use for it. And so I never tried it, and I realized that was a mistake of mine, but I'm glad that I did. I'm glad that I tried it, and I'm glad that I used it, because this thing will apply to just about anything if you want to do any recording at all. And that goes back to the quality improvements that I'm making with this channel and this podcast. I want to constantly improve. And if I can use this in more than one way, like I was talking about earlier, I think that's incredible. And I want to talk about this so that people can download it, because it's free. You're able to use this. And I haven't had any problems with it since I've been using it. I have experimented quite a bit with it. And if you have a low-powered computer, you can adjust the settings so that you can use OBS. It won't be, as high quality, but you can still use it on your computer and learn about it. If you have a relatively new computer that's got some power with it, you can use OBS and you can set everything to the max and create a professional-looking audio and video recording. And why pay money when you have something like this that you can use for free? So I highly recommend OBS, the obsproject.com. And if you've tried OBS before, let me know. If you have any questions about OBS, you can send me some feedback. Hey, you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Send me some feedback. I would love some feedback on any episode that has been recorded so far. That's how I learn. Give me some feedback on things that I can talk about, things that I can improve on, what you liked, what you didn't like, because ultimately this is for you. As I learn, I get excited and I want to talk about these projects. But ultimately, if I can share that with somebody and make that interesting for somebody to want to use it also, then I really succeeded. So I try to keep this as a level-headed approach to using software and technologies for various reasons. And so please give me a review if you use iTunes, or even if you don't use iTunes and you have an iPhone or an iPad, just open up that podcast app, search for MrpTech Podcast, leave me a 5-star review, and help me find more listeners. Over the last few weeks, I have seen a steady growth in downloads, and I think that's a great thing. More and more listeners are coming on. That's exciting to me. That makes me want to put out more quality podcasts. Tell people about this show. If you know somebody who's interested in technology and they listen to podcasts, recommend that they listen to this podcast, because the more people that listen, the more feedback I can get, the better that I can serve your needs as far as a listener is concerned. You can also like me on my Facebook page is MrpTechreveiws. You can send me an email, mrptechreveiws@gmail.com. We also have a website, www.mrptechreviews.wix.com/home. And feel free to contact me at any of those locations if you have questions or requests. I'd be glad to talk about that. And thanks so much for listening. We'll see you next time.